This week's video is going to be an overview of the iPad 6th Gen. I'm going to make several videos about this device and some of the features that are on it, I think, starting with this overview where I'm just going to talk about it in general. So it's not really going to be a full review per se. It's just going to be kind of an overview to prepare you for one of my upcoming videos, which is going to be about taking your notes on an iPad, and I'm going to get more in depth about that and how I'm doing that. But for now, let's get into the overview. So first off, the first thing I'd like to mention is the on-screen keyboard is very nice. It's the nicest of any tablet that I have used, and I kind of wish that my phone had a similar keyboard, although it wouldn't really work on a smaller screen. I really like being able to swipe down on keys to use their alternate functions instead of like pressing and holding on them. I just find that to be a lot nicer while typing, that you can just swipe down to hit the special character that's also assigned to the keys on it. And it's just a really good on-screen keyboard, and there's nothing that beats it. Another pro to this device is definitely the price. Since they are selling these for extremely cheap, you can get them for around $300, and that's really great compared to all other Apple products on the market. It is literally the cheapest Apple product that you can buy, and getting this iPad at that price is a very good deal. And it is at that price because it is intended for education purposes, for students to buy, for schools to buy, to equip their students with them. It's made to be more accessible to people that can really benefit from it. So another pro is that this iPad has Apple Pencil support, which is very nice considering that previously only the iPad Pros had this feature. However, for a $300 price tag, you can throw on a $100 Apple Pencil and be able to use that. It does not support the Generation 2 Apple Pencil, only the Generation 1 Apple Pencil. But having that feature at this price point is very, very nice, and that is literally the reason why I got it. Having a big screen on a device like this is also good for video calling, such as the new multi-person FaceTime calls that you can do in the Apple FaceTime app. Having a large screen, you can fit more people on it, and it works out really well as kind of a communications device for video calling, chatting, messaging, and pulling up large chat logs or whatever when you're looking through on Slack or Discord or whatever else you're using to message people. Talking about the display does look very nice. It is just a standard Retina display. It's not one of the new liquid Retinas or anything, but Retina displays are still very good and are easily up there in the top of the line of all of the displays that are on the market. The main feature that gives Apple the advantage over Android devices when it comes to tablets is definitely the gestures. A lot of Android tablets don't really have special gestures to help you use them, whereas Apple kind of makes their operating system a bit different in how you use it when you're on a tablet than on a phone, where Android just kind of is the same experience, only on a bigger screen. So some of these gestures include, like pinching to close out of an app and go into your like multi-panel display of all the apps that you have open, or swiping up to reveal your taskbar so you can open up a new app or put it into split screen mode. And just all these gestures just work very intuitively and really help you use this device on the larger screen. And those features aren't found on iPhones because they wouldn't really take advantage of them since they have a smaller display. Now I want to talk about some of the cons that I found with this device, the first of which being that there's just a lot of bezels. And with the new iPad Pros that came out a little bit after this iPad came out, they have super thin bezels. My Pixel 3 has super thin bezels, so it just seems kind of out of place, but I understand why they did it. They're cutting costs, so they are using kind of the old iPad design, the old chassis. They probably have them sitting around in warehouses and stuff, and that's how they're able to drive the price down, is because they're basically constructing 6th gen iPads out of old parts, or at least that would be my prediction, since they are using the old body and everything. So I'm guessing it's just all the old design just to save on cost. But hey, it works, so I'm not complaining about it because it's a cheap iPad that can do a lot of great things. Another area that they cut corners on is it doesn't have the latest processor. The processor is a couple generations behind on the Apple processors. I believe it is an A10, whereas they're on like the A12s and whatnot now. But that processor is plenty fast for anything that you're going to throw at it, and I really don't think this device is for any type of major productivity, video editing type stuff. You're going to want to get the iPad Pros if you want to do that. I wouldn't recommend that anyway, because I think if you're getting into any type of large-scale production, productivity things, you should really be doing that on an actual computer, preferably a PC where you have a large selection of software and plugins to make your content. As a kind of backup device where you can have all your productivity stuff and have a large screen to use, this is definitely a good device for that area. It should be kind of a backup to your laptop, not a laptop replacement. Another con that I found with the iPad is that the Touch ID just isn't quite as responsive as the iPhones were. Again, they are using older technology, but still Touch ID in itself is an older technology, so I think they would want to use the cutting edge Touch ID like what was on the iPhone 7s and 8s, because that was super responsive, instantly picked up your fingerprint. This one just seems to be just a little bit laggy compared to like my old iPhone 7 Plus. So I don't really know what went wrong there. It might be the button design, since it does have a physical button and those phones didn't. They just had a fake button that used haptic feedback to make you think you were clicking a button. But this has a real button, so that might affect it in some way. Still, I would like to see better Touch ID on it, since a lot of people still prefer to use that method to unlock their devices. If you guys found this overview interesting and you want to see some videos that are kind of like it, I'm going to leave some cards in the top right-hand corner of the screen, right up there. And those cards will take you to my iPhone review and my Pixel 3 review, and you can check those out and get an in-depth view on that. The Pixel 3 review is probably more relevant, so I definitely recommend that one. But if you want, you can check out the iPhone 7 Plus review from back when that was relevant. So if you guys did like this video, go ahead and leave a like on it. If you like the content on this channel, go ahead and subscribe. And if you guys have any advice for future content or any comments about iPads or anything I talked about in this video, leave that in the comment section down below. And I will see you guys in the next video.